Today we are going to talk about the HR and people perspective, employee perspective with respect to the DPDP reporting. If you really want to get into details of the impact of DPDP Act on employees in HR, I have a free course available on Udemy which you can go through and share your feedback as to how good or how relevant you like it for yourself. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on data privacy. And as I said, we are going to talk about the HR and employees perspective with respect to the reporting under DPDP. What is HR reporting matters? Well, I always say HR has the largest variety, or rather, I would say widest variety, and a large volume. I can't say it largest because there could be organizations which are real big enterprises, for example, banks, hospitals, where there would be a lot of PIIs and sensitive PIIs from the data principals, the prospects, and the real customers. But HR has all kinds of PIIs, starting from name to healthcare to biometrics, right? So HR's perspective or HR reporting is one of the key elements, and there would be a lot of organizations who would have lesser number of customers and principals to handle otherwise, and a reasonably good number of HR or employees to handle. People data issues are very gradual. They're not sudden. They'll come up, they might prop up suddenly on a day, depending on what the situation is, but they are happening inside gradually. Informal handling creates an invisible risk. HR has conveyed. Is it on paper? Trust based processes. Sorry. Everything has to be on document. Even if they are best of the friends and best of the colleagues between them or between HR and any of the team members, there should be a formal documentation. HR decisions shape the confidence of an employee, especially if it's available in a written format. And the government visibility, especially on the employee data, is generally very limited. Everyone focuses on the customer. What is important here is that what if something goes wrong with the employee data? Now, you can say you'll control internally, HR will explain this, that, but you never know. The discontentment and resentment that you might build up in an internal team member, which sooner or later will impact your service delivery. HR signals for the management. If it's an issue, internal issue, it's a low risk issue. HR should be able to handle because you have the handler as well as the customer both internally available. Consent assumptions are rarely questioned. We all do this mistake, and I have also done it many times. HR has conveyed. HR has taken the agreement. The day anything goes wrong, HR says, I told him. And eventually, everyone looks at you as if you have done a crime. Even the employee who was a very good friend of HR now believes that you had asked not to document it so that you don't become responsible for it. Long standing practices look safe, but they may not be really safe. Manual handling feels controlled. Again, the same thing. Silence looks like stability, but silence is never stability. Silence is silence before the storm. Let the activities be there. Let small, big issues be there so that you are resolving them from time to time rather than let there be a assumed stability in silence and suddenly an uncomfortable escalation. Reporting points that HR should avoid. They should not rely on trust and intent. Document it. What is wrong about it? If you want to be true to your words, then there is nothing wrong about documenting your words. Informal resolution without records is again something which is not expected to be done. Assuming that because there is an employment contract, there is no DPDP, well, assuming that there is no DPDP, is the employee personal information not critical for you? Right? So don't only always look at only DPDP and compliance and penalties. What if the breach actually happens? What if there is something that actually goes wrong? That is more important. Delayed escalations due to sensitivity? No, not at all. Treat legacy practices as exempt. Sorry. If you have digital data, no legacy practices are exempt. It has to be taken care of. Avoid minimizing people data impact. You cannot avoid that. Sooner or later, that data will get highlighted, so better be careful right from day one. DPT governance rates. PIIs deserve the same governance rigor as any other data, whether it's employee related or external related. Sensitivity requires clarity. Sensitivity does not require silence. Documentation protects HR and leadership. So documentation should be done and clarity. And it's even good for the leadership so that no employee goes out with the discontentment that they, in joining hands with HR, conveyed me something wrong as compared to what I thought. Conveyed wrong, thought. Escalation is a safeguard. It is not a failure. It's a resolution step. Escalation means we are approaching resolution. Good or bad, what impact? Separate, but at least resolution. HR reporting, of course, if leadership has decided not to be visible, because I am living for escalation for 5 years with a customer, two customers actually, where leadership has decided to stay away. They've stonewalled around their cabins, they don't want to meet. In fact, they have blocked their emails as well. So HR reporting enables trust and DPDP maturity includes people and processes. Importantly, care of personal data is demonstrated, shown through transparency, not by quiet handling and not by sitting at the backside. And it is very, very important again, not only compliance, but personal information that you have is important for your data principal and for yourself as well. So take care of it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, get more idea. And as I said, if you want to know more about HR employee with respect to DPDP, I have a free course available on Udemy. I'll put the link in the description of this video as well. Thank you.